through me.
Okay, I'm gonna admit, this made me laugh a lot the first time I saw it. Once in a while, when you're waiting for a game to come out, sometimes you can feel like there's nothing else releasing, or you just hit that area of where you're like, ugh, there's nothing for me to play. Then you look over at your Steam library and you realize that you have hundreds of games that you haven't even installed or touched. Sometimes you can play a game so much you feel like you give it more time than it deserves. Other times, games may get completely overshadowed. Today I'm going to look at a game that some of you may have overlooked called Iron Danger. Iron Danger at first glance looks like an isometric RPG, and while it partially is, it mostly isn't. Instead of having progression based on experience, it's awarded at the end of each level only. You have no gear to progress or anything of the sort, and all you get at the end of the level is the option to improve your abilities. Iron Danger feels like it wants to be a tactics game similar to XCOM or Wildermyth, but while I appreciate what it's going for, I find the combat is a little lackluster. Some of the puzzles can be pretty fun to sort out, but we'll get into that in a moment. It can award creativity with some combat scenarios, but for the most part, there's a lot of times where you have to do very specific actions. While it could seem like you have a choice in the matter, like you can get hit or not get hit, you can rewind time to block or not block, that is mostly the extent of what you're going to be presented with. Now, I want to make something clear. I do not see Iron Danger as a bad game. I see it as actually a decent game. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. I think this game could be for very specific people. I think it could be a great, cool little puzzle game for young adults. But let me go over some of the positives that I enjoy in this game. One of the first positives is I enjoy being around the main character. I feel like the voice actor did a very good job with her. She's fun to be around and she doesn't ever really grate on me. Some other games may make a main character sometimes feel like it can be a chore to be around. Iron Danger makes Kimball very likable. But there are also some characters that can be a little grating to be around.
My orchid bud, my blossom, my spark, my blossom, no blossom. You're ready now, Robin Redbreast.
I wish she would stop giving pet names. The blacksmith character seems fine. His accent to me seems a little over the top, kind of forced. If this is the way you talk, I apologize. I'm not an expert on accents. It just sounds a little put on. I'm the blacksmith of these lands. You've heard it before. That's basically how he sounds.
You know, you've got good nerves in a tight spot. They might have a place for you in the army.
I found the audio design very good in this game, and it reflects the environment you're in. I've noticed some games don't seem to do this detail, but if you're in the hall or the Great Hall talking to the king, your voice reverberates around the marble or whatever they have around there, or if you're outside, it sounds more natural. Whoever did the audio mixing did a very good job, so good for you. The art design in this game seems pretty good. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I can tell what's going on for the most part in the world itself, like as everything's moving around, looks good. There seems to be performance issues for a certain amount of people, myself included. I thought I experienced some screen tearing out the gate and I didn't have the ability to go into the options to select any sort of VSync or anything like that. I didn't see it as an option, but I got used to it, or maybe I was just seeing things, but that is something that you would need to look out for. Mechanically, I do appreciate them having a different approach than XCOM does in a tactics game. The issue that I do have, however, is it was so close to working, but it lacks that finite intensity that XCOM has. In Iron Danger, if anything bad happens, you can rewind it, which is part of the, story anyway. But if there's no high stakes, or if you can't really fail, then you're not really worried about anything. Games like Prince of Persia have a very specific limitation on your power or how many times you can rewind. You only have so much sands of time or whatever before you can make another attempt at crossing the wall run or doing whatever. That means you need to eventually get it right. In Iron Danger, you don't have a limitation on how often you can rewind. There's a certain amount of time that you can rewind, but you can retry the same thing if you mess up as much as you want. Some people may see that as a positive. Maybe that changes at a higher difficulty. I don't remember if I always play it at medium, so this is just my take at medium. But I do feel any sort of limitation would help with the intensity, even on a medium difficulty. So overall, how do I feel about Iron Danger? I think it's a solid game. It's not a game for me, but it isn't deeply offensive to where if I play it, I think, why was this game made? I think it had good ambitions, but for me it fell a little short. I'm glad I gave it a try, but after my 4 hours, I don't feel a need to complete this story. Let's see what other helpful reviews Steam has. Can you please remove the ads from the menu? I paid full price for this. Edit. Well, I didn't want to write a full review, so it doesn't seem that I... What? So it doesn't seem that I want to overkill this game, but on popular demand, I have to write. This game is really bad. The story is bad and the gameplay is bad. Great. All right, here's another good. Oh boy. Well, this is a first. I had to quit playing after less than 10 minutes due to the irritating feature of whispering, "Get up," or whatever it is when you die. It made my skin crawl. It was gross and irritating. Waste of my money. This feature happens to you once, or if you manage to get yourself killed in a game where you can infinitely rewind, you might hear that. So, okay. Yeah, you got a lot of time played on it, buddy. Kind of hard to downvote, because in its essence, it's kind of fun. No one made you downvote it, man. I don't want to pretend that editing film should be an action RPG. This one's not wrong. All right, so that is overall my experience with Iron Danger. I enjoyed it, but not enough to go back. Do I think it's worth $20? If you look at the gameplay and you think it is, yeah. You know, I do think it's worth $20. I think they put some pretty good work into it. It's probably worth, I think I paid $40, but $20 is a very fair price for this game. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good day, whatever it is you're doing, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.